Okay, everybody. This is my very first talking head video, so I am hoping you'll show me a little bit of grace through this process. Typically, you would just see my hands in videos, but I wanted to take a second to jump in front of the mic just to talk about something that I believe many of us who are business owners or creatives or just for life in general deal with, and that is burnout. Okay. I do have notes because I don't want to go off on a tangent and start rambling because I have a tendency of doing that. But for those of you who are current subscribers, thank you for taking the time to watch this video. And if you are just coming across this video for the first time, hi and welcome. A little bit about myself. My name is Mimi, and I am the owner of Mimi's Mocha Treats. Mimi's Mocha Treats is a custom cake studio serving the greater Washington, D.C. area. I've been in business for 15 years, and I am an 8 times award-winning cake artist. And I've also competed on Cake Wars on Food Network many moons ago. Um, when you come across my page or my website or any of my social media, you'll always see the reference of we. We is me. I don't know why we do this as business owners. If it's just one person, we tend to say we. I don't know if it makes us seem like we're bigger than we are, but we is me. We is me, in addition to friends and family, and one delivery guy that they all help me with deliveries when need be. Okay. All right. Um, the reason why I'm jumping on here is to just talk about what I've been trying to navigate, and that is burnout. Okay. And if you see me looking down, it's because I'm looking at notes. Because again, like I said, I'm just not used to being in front of the camera. All right. So, like I mentioned before, I've been in business for 15 years. And since it is just me, I am the designer, I am the accountant, I am the marketing person, I am the social media expert, I am all of the above. And if you are someone who follows my social media, you will see that I'm not the greatest at posting to social media because it's just so exhausting. Um, but I know it's part of the business and what is needed. So that in itself causes burnout. So, like I said, I've been in business 15 years. In the 15 years that I've been in business, I've also always worked a full-time job. So I work in the mornings, come home at night, work on the cakes over the weekends. And this is for 15 years. Around now it's 4 years ago, um, my daddy started to show signs of dementia and Alzheimer's disease. And it hit us hard, especially me. I'm a daddy's girl. And my daddy had retired and had moved to Dothan, Alabama, of all places, which is 13 hours away from where I reside, which is in Woodbridge, Virginia, in the greater Washington, D.C. area. So when he started showing signs of dementia and Alzheimer's, and he started to become more housebound and bedbound, I had to navigate a full-time job, a cake business, and driving back and forth to Alabama or catching flights as needed. Um, I'm trying to keep it together. Going through that and that stressor really affected me and how I run my business. And I made some mistakes. And to the clients that experienced those mistakes, I will never be able to I will never be able to apologize to you enough. But I also appreciate the fact that you showed me grace and understanding during those times. All right. Fighting or going through that time period really took a huge toll on not only my mental health, but my physical health, my work, my 9 to 5 job. It definitely affected my 9 to 5 job. And it also affected my creativity and willingness to get downstairs into my cake studio and fill orders. I want to go back a little bit and just express to you all how much I love cake. I love cake. Um, it is an artistic medium that has allowed me the opportunity to express myself artistically. Um, when you work a 9 to 5 job, a corporate job, you don't really get to express yourself artistically. And when I found the world of cakes, I was like, yo, where has this been my whole life? you know, I have a background in architecture. I went to Howard University to study architecture. I didn't finish, but I've always worked in the field of architecture in an administrative role. So that creativity that I used to love when I was a young kid, and then when I was in college, I mean, you just lose it, right? Because you're sitting at a desk all day. It's almost like you're a caged bird. That's what I always used to say. I feel like a caged bird. I can't fly. I can't sing. I can't do anything. And then the world of cakes fell into my lap, and I never looked back. Um, I'm the kind of person that obsesses with things. Like if I get really excited about something, I get obsessed with it, and that's part of my recent ADHD. What do you call it? Not medication. When they determine that I have adult ADHD. Okay, we tend to focus a lot, but for me, cakes. I mean, I saw, or I still see everything in cakes. Okay, and I can imagine if you're a welder, or if you're a sketch artist, or if you're a painter, or whatever, you see the world through that thing that you love to do. Okay. Um, so cake got me motivated. It was exciting. It was like I can use my hands, I can use some of my architectural knowledge. I just was able to be free. But it was a lot. It was a lot to navigate. It was a lot to do, especially for one person. So, as my dad's illness progressed, the stressor of taking on orders, I was really hesitant on taking orders. I was like, because if I get an emergency call and I have to hit the road, that 13-hour drive to Alabama, and I don't want to disappoint clients. So I had that stressor on me for about 2 years. Um, Also, my energy level. If you um had an opportunity to speak to some of my clients, one of the biggest things they've all said to me is that my energy um is what drew them to them, right? I like for my clients to feel like they're talking to a friend, not a vendor. I want them to know that I care about their special day. I'm just as excited for them as they are for themselves. So my energy was, besides my work, was the biggest drawing factor for clients, and that started to fade. I found that I would do calls with clients, and I'm forcing the energy. Like I'm trying to be energetic. And as soon as I got off the phone with them, or a video call with them, or, just finished talking to them in person, like I just was exhausted. I was like, okay, I can take this mask off. Whew, that's what it felt like. And I had never felt that before. I pushed through. And then when I lost my father, or my daddy, because he wasn't my father, that was my daddy, all of I feel like all of my creative juices in love went with him. And I hated going into my cake space or my cake studio, which is down in my basement. Um, oh, I don't have any tissue. Sorry, guys. I didn't expect to do this. You know, he was my biggest cheerleader. And sometimes I would talk to him about orders or clients. And when he passed, I had orders that came after him, after his passing. And it took everything in me to muster up the energy to complete them. In addition, my 9 to 5 job was greatly affected. I had a nasty attitude. I didn't want to be there. I found myself arguing and fighting with my manager and others. It was very difficult to focus on work. And by the time I would get home at night, I was exhausted. It was more of a mental exhaustion. And, plus dealing with all of the nuances that you have to deal with after you lose someone, especially a parent. I noticed that all of my motivation, even in my personal life, was gone. I have some cake girlfriends, and the joke is they called me OCD and they're messy Marvins because I like things to be put away. I don't like chaos. I'm a germaphobe. I like clean bathrooms, clean kitchens, and I wasn't doing that anymore. I was not doing that anymore. Um, Thankfully, I have a young lady that I can call on to, to help me with cleaning as need be, and she's a gem. And the days that she would come in and clean, like I felt like I could breathe. But then within a week of her leaving, my house would be chaotic again. I no longer loved cake. I no longer loved cake. And for any of you who are super passionate about anything, I am sure you understand that when you lose that passion for a particular thing, it can be devastating. It can mess with your mental health, um, and your moods. I faked it a lot, and for some people, particular a few of my best friends, I think they knew. Um, I tried my hardest to act as if I had everything together, but I didn't. Um, I just was going with life day by day. Um, I One of my dearest and closest best friends, she's like a baby sister to me. She doesn't know this. This is gonna be the first time I'm saying this. She's a go-getter. She's a go-getter. Everything she wants to do, she achieves. And she was just starting her business. And she and I talked a lot about her business as well as my cakes. A lot of times I said I was doing things for the business and I wasn't. I was curled up on the couch or curled up in my bed not doing anything. And I couldn't tell her that. I couldn't let her know that I wasn't doing what I said I was going to do. And I was watching everybody around me hit their goals, hit their targets like I used to do, and I couldn't do anything. I couldn't move. I I I was like paralyzed. I talked a good game, but I wasn't doing it. Some things happened after my dad passed with my job, and we parted ways. A lot of people don't know this because I hid it. I couldn't let them know that. I had never had an experience like that before. And when it came down to, oh my gosh, what do I do now? The first thought was, all right, go all balls in with Mocha Treats. Just get up every day, do what you got to do. This is the universe's sign that this is your time. This is your time. You've been talking about this almost since you started making cakes. And I thought I was going for it, but I really wasn't. Spent a lot of money. A lot of money thinking that this is what I need to do to be a business owner. This, if I'm going to do it full time, this is what I need to do. I joined groups like BNI. I went out and networked, which is something I'm just never did before. I mean, people think that I have such an outgoing personality and that I'm a big extrovert. I'm really an introvert and I'm actually very shy, especially around people I don't know. But I forced myself to do these networking events and I would go for 30 minutes, if that, and I would leave because I would get so overwhelmed. There were too many people there. I wasn't mentally there. I think I was more so just doing it for show, to say I did it, but I wasn't in it, if that makes sense. Um, and I struggled. I depleted my savings and I decided it was time to go back to work. So I have now been at a full time position since September. And even with that, I talked about the cakes. Oh, I'm going to do this, do this, do this. But I wasn't into it. You know, burnout is something that I think we try to push to the side and we hide when it comes to burnout. Burnout is real. Burnout shows up in, like I said, you lose the motivation for whatever you're passionate about. You're not taking care of yourself. You're not taking care of being honest with those around you that you love. You hide. And that's what I had been doing. I recently decided that that had to change. I had to figure out a way to regain my passion about cakes because it is my artistic outlet. It's my artistic outlet. Forget the money. It's my artistic outlet. And I'm working towards to get back to that. I never want my clients to ever feel as if they're being slighted by not only my energy, but my skill set that I have worked very, very, very hard to acquire. You know, when you finally get to the point where you say enough is enough, it's eye opening. Um, you realize that you have to do something because you cannot continue in the space that you've been in. Clutter, lack of organization, lack of a schedule, lack of a goal or goals are all signs of burnout. And you've got to work to change that. Now my goals are to get back into cakes, like get figure out a way to love my cakes again. And I'm working towards that in many ways, and I'll definitely share those ways with you, especially if you're also someone who is dealing with burnout. And you know what? Maybe as a student, you're feeling burnout, or as a corporate leader, you're feeling burnout, or shoot, a receptionist, a daycare provider, whatever, you're feeling burnout. And you're trying to figure out what to do to get back into that healthy place that you were once in. And I'm here to tell you that, we can do this. We definitely can do this. I've learned that it is okay to be, or how do they say it? It's okay to not be okay. It's okay to not be okay, guys. We don't always have to be on. We don't always have to be what everybody else wants us to be or expects us to be or what makes others feel comfortable. It's okay. But what's not okay is for us to stay in that space. And after 3 years of faking it, I'm tired of being in that space. And I'm ready to be okay. Like, I'm okay with being okay. One of the things my daddy said to me before he went on to his next path in life, I don't know. I hate to think that death is it. Like, I just don't know. I'm not a very religious person. I'm more spiritual. All I have to do is have the hope that that wasn't the end all of be all for him or for any of our loved ones. But one of the things he said to me as he looked me in my eye is, daughter, take care of yourself. Yes, he said daughter. One of the things with my daddy was if he called me by my name, I was in trouble. I was always referred to as a D as my daughter, which I still miss hearing. So I know I'm not alone in this. I know many of you are also dealing or coping with loss, grief, um, lack of motivation, burnout. But we'll get through this, you guys. We'll get through this. If you want to share your story for others to motivate them or inspire them, please, please leave your comments below. And I hope and pray that we will all get on the other side, not only stronger, but wiser and more confident. So, again, I thank you. I know this is not a how-to video. I know I don't know where to look on the camera. So if you see me looking a different direction, please, again, this is my first time doing a talking head video. But I hope it helps you. I hope it helps somebody. And as I try to navigate this space, I definitely will keep you posted on things that I've been doing to help, how I'm trying to get back into that happy, happy joy place of Mimi's Mocha Treats or life in general. But if you would like to follow me on this journey, please do. If you want to learn more about cakes, hey, think about joining or subscribing. But just know that you're not alone. Together, we can do this. It doesn't matter how others see us or think of us. It's all that matters is how we see ourselves and how we wish the world to see us. So, thank you. Take care and have a great day.